All right, we are live. Welcome to the interview of Brittany Smith. Brittany, why don't you tell us first about yourself as what you do now?
So I'm Brittany, and I'm an ADHD productivity and technology coach. Mostly I'm an ADHD coach, but productivity and technology background is something I bring to the table. I do make some videos about technology and things like that.
Mm,
I like to have variety, which is great being an ADHD coach because our tribe is not boring.
mhm.
And I don't have two clients that are exactly alike, and that's awesome. And yeah, I love helping people and spreading the word. And yeah,
Speaking of not boring, how did you become an ADHD coach?
I was diagnosed with ADHD right before I went into grad school studying psychology and child development.
Mm,
And I had the wrong idea about ADHD. And so once I learned that that was me,
mm,
I started reading the cognitive science papers that would be about my brain so I could learn how to make it work the best and get through graduate school. As I was nearing the end and trying to decide if I was going to do more academia, but feeling a little bit burned out on it, although I love science, my ADHD coach suggested I look into ADHD coaching, and I did, and I'm here.
interesting. So, how did that mentor impact you besides your career?
Lots of ways. Fortunately, I waited way too long to get a coach. I feel like that's a common story. I waited until I was like, I literally can't afford to keep paying tuition without being sure I'm going to graduate because I had no
Mm.
structure in my lab. So she helped out a lot. It turned out that I actually had access to a free ADHD coach from the university, and I would have started much
Wow.
sooner if I'd known that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty wild. But she was great, super encouraging, and had been through graduate school herself and understood a lot of the struggles and helped me put together, a way to finish graduate school and a way to cope with the awful stuff that happened. And
Mm.
it was really amazing.
That's wonderful to hear your story on this. And I'm sure that actually is used with your clients when you have something to connect with them on. Now, it's hard to tell a client something that you see in them, an insight. How do you present challenging insights to your clients?
Usually in a silly way that will
Mm,
break the tension. It depends on the situation and how much history I have with them. But sometimes I'll say, like, my perfectionism sense is tingling, or, uh, oh, I hear the research word. How do we know when that's done? Those sorts of things.
mm,
If I notice them, then I try to make sure we can bring it up, but in a low pressure way that gives them an out if I'm wrong.
okay. And I know that part of managing ADHD is to also manage your emotions, self care. What do you do for self care?
Wow, it's been a year where that's the thing we think about a lot, right?
Right, right.
I try to make sure that I have time for projects. Like I said, the variety is really important to me. I schedule downtime if I realize that my schedule's getting too full. And I've really learned when to have more acceptance and self-compassion around, after I do this kind of task, my focus isn't very good. And
Mm.
I'm going to be okay with that and give myself some rest until it's back.
Okay, acceptance, forgiveness, grace.
Hmm.
Wow, recipe. Nice. And I know you mentioned time, and some of your time is spent with the ACO, the
Hmm.
ADHD Coaches Organization. What is that role? What do you do?
I'm on the leadership team. Practically speaking, I feel like my real role is to have a different perspective.
Mhm.
I've helped out. I've helped David with some website stuff, although that's really mostly him doing all the work. And yeah, I feel like the different perspective is a big part of what I bring to the table.
Mhm. And much valued. And
Thanks.
so in your role as the different perspective and the different ideas that come with you, how can someone in the ACO connect with you and work with you?
There's the ACO forums, and we can connect through there.
Mm.
I'm on there not as much as I should, but sometimes,
Mhm.
and a little bit like Twitter, I think. And, and then, of course, there's the conference this year, virtual.
Mm.
But when it's in person, I am such a hallway track girl. I
Mhm.
know sometimes I miss the sessions I meant to go to because I really love connecting with our tribe. It
Mm.
means a lot to me to be able to do that.
Nice. I mean, that's something that I imagine that members want to know about you. What do you want members to know about the ACO?
It's a place to not feel alone. As a solo practitioner that so many of us are, I mean,
Mm.
starting up my practice, I felt so isolated. I didn't know which problems were just me. I had really nobody to bounce ideas off of in quite the way that you can with many people.
Mm.
And it's so validating to hear that other coaches are having similar struggles with people. Having places to connect has really helped through the 2020 stuff of, oh yeah, we have all these overlap in the challenges that we're seeing in our clients and that we're having ourselves. And to hear, sometimes when it's just you, it's easy to feel like, oh, I'm just a terrible coach because these things aren't going
Mm.
right. But to hear that other people have the same struggles, but also that they have other ideas that I didn't think of, and it can
Mm.
be just really great to have that community.
Mm. Very nice. Now, you entered the ACO how long ago? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
The leadership team?
The leadership team, yeah.
Yeah, almost a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago. What was the purpose of you stepping up at that point? Where did that come from?
Um, I mean, it started because Tamara and I met at the conference,
She's an amazing
and
recruiter.
I she is, and she's an amazing leader on a lot of levels.
Mm.
She takes care of her people, but also she really knows where to put everyone,
Yeah.
like how to leverage everyone's strengths, and she sees the bigger picture
Mm.
together. It's sort of amazing to watch. Uh, and we chatted about it, and she asked if I was interested, and I felt like I had something to contribute. I did some thinking about it, and
Mhm.
then I felt like, okay, I probably do have something to contribute, and I really believe in this organization and what
Mm.
we can do for our fellow ADHD coaches.
Mm.
And I wanted to make sure that if I knew of something that I could help with, that I was in a position to do that.
Okay. You can, you do. It's
Yeah.
been wonderful talking with you. To end our interview today, I'd like to ask you, what is your favorite quote? What does it mean to you?
Necessary does not mean possible. It's from a silly book and it was werewolves talking, but it doesn't change the fact that in fact, I think that makes me like it better. Uh,
Mm.
it applies. It doesn't matter that I have 18 reports due by midnight. If I don't have the brain power to complete them, I have to
Mhm.
come up with something different. Just because it's necessary doesn't always mean it's possible. And building that acceptance can be life changing.
Wow, that speaks to me, and I'm sure it speaks to our audience and other coaches as well. Thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to working with you in the future, and I hope that more of the people at the ACO get a chance to work with you as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great day.